Hey everybody and welcome to Bits of Board, where we're talking board games, miniatures, cards and dice. My name's Michael and today we continue on our journey through the Kingdom Death Monster campaign. This is Lantern Year 29. We're almost finished our journey through the campaign. Far out. Second last video in the series, it'll be the final hunt that we go on. This is the last chance for us to pick and choose what we're going after, and I thought we'd give that level 3 Phoenix another shot because we have a lovely secret weapon there. That perfect Slayer, I hope, is going to make short work of this massive beast. So we'll probably just get straight into it. Just a heads up, I don't know if you can tell from the voice, got a bit of a cold at the moment, so you're going to have to deal with the occasional sniffle. I tried to edit it out as much as possible, but what are we going to do? The show must go on, and a Phoenix has to be fought. Let's go. Alright, first survivor out of the gates, we have Valentine, and as always, she's rocking the leather armor. This stuff is amazing. You feel invincible wearing it, and on arrival gain survival up to the survival limit. The extra weight is great leverage, and all clubs in your gear grid gain sharp, which means our skull cap hammer over here gains sharp, which is an extra 1d10 of strength every time we attempt to roll to wound with it. So dang good. Now, the lantern armor is some of the strongest in the game. Base value on this stuff is usually 5, but we've upgraded the lantern helm to be the oxidized variant, giving us 6 armor there, but it gets so much better. Thanks to our connected green and blue affinities from the Lantern Curious, we gain +3 armor to all hit locations, and that's not where we're going to end it. In fact, because of our leather shield down here, we're going to gain an additional point to everything, bringing these guys up to 9 and 10 for the oxidized lantern helm. Insane. Of course, it would be silly to end it there because we have the shield specialization, which boosts everything up an additional point as long as we have one of those shields in the gear grid, and of course we do. And as a bonus effect, we may ignore collision with a monster with this sucker. So crazy. Now, of course, the lantern armor being ridiculously heavy and super strong, we are going to drop some movement wearing this stuff. And as you can see on the Lantern Curious here, -2 to movement. Now, usually we can offset this with the Lantern Greaves down here, but as you can see, we haven't been able to pull off that second connected red affinity, which means we don't gain those benefits there. That's okay though, because I am thinking we can bring the monster to us with the bird bread. Once per showdown, we may consume this stuff to add 1 armor to all hit locations like we need it, and we gain the priority target token, which means the next time the monster tries to attack, they are going to attack us. As a small offset to this, we're going to have to roll a d10, and on a 1 we reduce our survival down to 0. It's still pretty good odds, so we're sticking with it, but yeah, a massive gear grid setup for us today. Now, it doesn't end there. We've got the lantern gauntlets over here, and thanks to our connected green affinity there, we gain +2 accuracy with our club weapons. So our skull cap hammer, it's going to be hitting on 5s as a base value there. Rocking on over to the oxidized lantern helm, yes, this is upgraded, and its little ability here changes from making us deaf to giving us the option to ignore things that would affect us if we were deaf, if that makes any sense. Basically, it's deafness whenever the heck we want it, and that's going to come in handy because I'm sure our Phoenix is going to be squawking about trying to do some damage with that, and we can just ignore it. Thank you, Valentine. Well done. Now, we're doing pretty well with the skull cap hammer over there. We've in fact got the club weapon specialization, which means when attacking with a club and on a perfect hit, we will double our wound attempt location on the first selected hit, which pretty much means I think we're going to make the wound every time with that one. I'm just fingers crossed there, right, guys? Giving us a little bit of a boost here. We have that perfect hit, and we have Timeless Eye, which increases our chances of landing a perfect hit twofold. In fact, on a 9 or a 10 instead of just a 10, we are going to be getting that perfect hit. That's also actually going to carry over to the skull cap hammer, which on a perfect hit, the monster will be dazed and gain a -1 speed token until the end of the turn, and they can be dazed once per round only. Offsetting all of our good stuff going here, we have the Rageaholic disorder. This isn't particularly bad. Whenever you suffer a severe injury, you also suffer the Frenzy Brain Trauma, which is going to boost our speed. It's going to boost our insanity. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use any of our survival at that point, but if things go certain ways here, this might work nicely. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I have a plan today, guys. I'm just hoping we can bring this plan into fruition. Let's see who we've got next. All right, no surprises with this setup here. We've seen something very similar to it a number of times throughout the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dis, who is rocking the amazing Screaming Antelope armor. Now this set here gives a +2 armor to all hit locations, and that's going to be boosted by the round leather shield and the shield specialization, all that crazy stuff. It gives us a nice little ability, a nice follow-up to the slam ability granted by the Screaming Cloak, and I'm sure we'll see that in action. I'll point it out when it happens. As for the gear, there's not heaps going on, so we'll just quickly touch on some of those fighting arts. We have Combo Master, which gives us a really rad ability. On a perfect hit, we can make one additional attack roll. Great stuff there. And we have the Rhythm Chaser, which we won't be using because we're actually carrying some heavy gear in the gear grid. The first aid kit over there is considered heavy, so all of this fighting art is null and void for the moment. But that's okay, we've got some pretty cool stuff floating around with this Survivor. So I'll just run through. We've got our armor, we've got the oxidized lantern glaive over there, which is an amazing piece of weaponry. 2 speed, hits on a 5+, 6 strength, pretty solid. It does have sharp, which gives us that extra D10 of strength every time we roll to wound. Reach 2 is going to keep us out of harm's way a little bit. And then on a perfect hit, because we've got our connected green affinity and a red affinity down here, the edge will sharpen and the weapon will gain +4 strength for the attack. Nothing huge, but still a nice little bonus there. Now we've got the first aid kit, which on arrival will grant all survivors +3 survival, and it gives us a way to spend some of our actions. We may remove bleeding or negative attribute tokens from yourself or adjacent survivors. So a little bit of survivability there. We gain a bit of insanity off the leg warmers, and then we may essentially plant some Arcanthus on the showdown board when we rock up thanks to those braces there. Now Dis is of course an Axe Master, which because the Lantern Glaive over here has the Axe keyword, we can fully make use of this mastery. When an Axe Master wounds a monster with an axe at a location with a persistent injury, that wound becomes a critical wound. So automatic criticals with this sucker, which is very nice. We also gain the specialization when attacking with an axe. If your wound attempt fails, you may ignore it and attempt to wound the selected hit location again. This is essentially a free reroll for us, so pretty dang cool. Now we've also got, thanks to someone, I believe it was Lucky, gaining the Spear Mastery, we have the Spear Specialization passed down to everybody. When attacking with a spear, if you draw a trap, roll 1d10 and on a 7+ cancel the trap, discard it, reshuffle the hit location, and draw a new card to replace it. So a little bit of extra survivability there in those cases. Now that's not it for Dis. He's got a few things going on. First off, he's got some destroyed genitals. Just good to know that, actually, guys. He has the Sour Death ability, which means he can encourage himself, which is pretty neat. If he gets knocked down, he can stand himself back up. And as an added bonus, he's going to gain a +1 strength token. So it's that trade-off. We can trade one of our survival for standing up and strength. Very cool. He also has the Leprosy impairment ability. It's pretty cool. We actually suffer -1 damage anytime we receive an attack from the monster. The catch is, though, I believe we've got to add +2, is it, to our severe injury rolls? I'll have to check that if it happens, but yeah, it's not all good news there, but still, -2 damage is solid. Now I should mention, because of his Sour Death ability, he's actually blinded, or it's sort of the other way around. So he's actually got a -1 to his accuracy, which is not great. The main reason I'm bringing him along and sort of risking him in a big encounter with the Phoenix is that, well, if we are successful here, we have the opportunity to remove blindness from our survivors. It's actually quite cool. Now, he's pretty close to retirement, so I'm not sure if we're going to get another chance with him, but I thought it'd be nice to cure the blindness either way there. Yeah, he'll be a good one. All right, here is a weapon we haven't seen in a while, guys and gals. We have the arc bow. And even more of a surprise is actually who's carrying it. It's Null, our shield master. What the heck is he doing with a bow and without a shield for that matter? Like I said, I have a plan, and if we actually manage to pull it off, guys, I'm going to brag about it for days. And if I fail miserably, then I'll just tell you it was a rubbish plan or that I was lying or something like that. Either way, we've got the leather armor going on here, which is pretty sweet. Gives +1 armor to all hit locations, which means 4 armor all across the board. Yeah, it's pretty pitiful in comparison to the rest of the guys, but it does give us the ability to ignore bash, and ignoring bash against the Phoenix is just a dream come true. This guy loves to bash us around. Now, I've got some pretty cool fighting arts here, which I'll show off. First one, Combo Master. On a perfect hit, make 1 additional attack roll. Lovely. Second one, Zero Presence, which is, I love this, seriously. Gain +1 strength when attacking a monster from its blind spot. So not only do we gain a +1 accuracy, we gain the +1 strength. That is very cool. But we also have this rad ability. Whenever you attack a monster, you are always considered to be in its blind spot. That means +1 strength and +1 accuracy all the time when we're attacking. Oh my god. Okay, so we've also got the Timeless Eye fighting art. This would give us the perfect hit on the 9 and the 10. Unfortunately, just like this, Null is blind, so we cannot use this fighting art at all. We've been blinded through the Sweet Death, See the Truth event. Now, this is not like the free Encourage ability. This gives us a free Surge ability every round, which is sweet. So we'll make use of that, I promise. Now, we've actually got a couple of disorders to throw in here as well. First off, being Rageaholic, we get to see this one quite a lot. Whenever you suffer a severe injury, also suffer the Frenzy Brain Trauma. Now, we definitely don't want this for Null because, well, Frenzy doesn't work with ranged weapons. So just something to keep in mind. We've also got Seizures. During the showdown, whenever you suffer damage to your head location, you are knocked down. And we have Weak Spot, which means we cannot depart unless we have armor at a specified location. For us, it is the waist location, so we are doing just fine with that one. So we'll quickly touch on the gear. Honestly, there's not much. We gain a couple of points of insanity and survival thanks to the leather armor. We're bringing with us the Clawhead arrow and the Hollow Point arrow. With the Clawhead, we can nail a -1 evasion token on the monster if we manage to hit. And with the Hollow Point, we actually drop its movement down a point, which may or may not help. Actually, it's probably closer to may not with that. Might actually ditch that and add a little something else. Give me 1 sec. I might actually add the Monster Tooth necklace into this. Now this will just require a quick shuffle around of some stuff. Awesome. All right, so that will actually give us a couple of bonuses on the arc bow here, so I'll be pretty happy with that. So, because we have our connected green, red affinities and a blue affinity floating around, we'll actually gain +2 range on this bad boy, so that is really cool. But with the Monster Tooth necklace, well, we're just going to gain 1 point of strength because we don't have the 2 red affinities. That's okay though, we don't need heaps of strength there. I was mainly doing that for the range because that way, well, we can keep Null at a safe distance. He's got pretty shite armor on, so this will help. And I'll bet you didn't see this one coming. An almost identical setup to one of our last ones, except I'll explain shortly what we've done here. But guys and gals, here we have Lex, who is the carrier of the perfect Slayer, just the absolute best weapon. Oh, so OP. All right. So she's, of course, wearing the Phoenix armor, which gives her +1 armor to all hit locations and the charge ability. If we do it, I'll tell you what it is. Hopefully we'll get a chance to show it off, but we may not need to. Now, there's a few things going on here. I'll just quickly run through her fighting arts. So we've just got the Unconscious Fighter fighting art. It takes 7 bleeding tokens to kill you, which is kind of cool because bleeding tokens, they're pretty plentiful when you're up against the Phoenix. So it's nice to have a little something against that. She's also got that Combo Master fighting art. Where did I put that? There we go. On a perfect hit, make 1 additional attack roll. So for us, that's going to be very handy, to say the least.
Now let's just quickly go over all the gear and stuff before we go too far. So on departing, we gain 2 points of insanity thanks to the armor, and if insane, we'll gain +2 movement. Now I'm going to temporarily put these movement tokens out because we'll get rid of them in just a sec. Don't you worry. Over here we have the beacon shield, which is our new purchase for us. This amazing shield adds +2 armor to all hit locations. And actually plus an additional one thanks to our shield mastery or shield specialization that's gone throughout the team. We have the Phoenix Helm that's not doing too much. We have the final lantern, which is going to grant the death dice out to our survivors. Now the dice is actually going to start with Lex, which means we can use it to attack, roll an extra dice during attack. I think we can roll 1d10 to add to our movement, 1d10 to add to our strength, stuff like that. Down here, of course, we have the Perfect Slayer, which is just a beast. It is... well, it's slow, sharp, devastating, 2, and irreplaceable, which means slow, we can only roll 1 dice when rolling to attack with it. Despite the fact it has 3 speed, we're only going to be rolling 1. It has sharp, which gives us that +1d10 strength when we're attacking, but seriously, we have 14 points of strength on it. What's the point even? And then we have devastating 2, which means instead of 1 wound, it's going to take off 3 wounds per wound. Oh! As a catch for this, it does give us that -2 movement, so we'll quickly ditch those +1 movement tokens. Rolling right along, we don't get the Phoenix Placard ability, sorry, but we do gain the Phoenix Drink over here has a rad ability. We may consume it to suffer the Frenzy Brain Trauma. Now, Frenzy's been brought up a couple of times on disorders and stuff, so you might think negative thoughts about it, but some of us know the secrets behind this amazing ability. When you suffer the Frenzy Brain Trauma, you gain +1 speed. Bang! You gain 1d5 insanity. Awesome. And you get to ignore slow on your melee weapons. Which means we will be rolling 3 dice on the Perfect Slayer, +1 thanks to our bonus speed. Oh, freaking amazing. Now, it doesn't stop there, guys. We actually have gained the Grand Weapon specialization. When attacking with a Grand Weapon, gain +1 accuracy, so that brings us from a 6+ to a 5+. Then, when attacking with a Grand Weapon during your act, if you critically wound, the monster becomes knocked down. We may as well make mention of one other specialization, except the fact I've never really used this. And it ties in with the Perfect Slayer because it has the sword keyword there. When attacking with a sword after drawing hit locations, make a wound attempt and then select a hit location to resolve with that result. So hopefully we can see that in action today. I will remember, probably not, but we'll see. But that's been granted to us through Freya, who's reached mastery, and of course all of our survivors gain that as a specialization. Now that's pretty much it for all of our survivors. It is worth mentioning that we do have the Fist and Tooth specialization available to everybody as well, thanks to our original survivor Eva. Rest in peace. You may stand if knocked down at the start of the monster's turn or the survivor's turn. So it really does give us some strategic opportunities when it comes to standing up. But yeah, solid stuff throughout. That's it for our team, guys and gals. Let's head off on this freaking hunt phase. It's a long board, I can already see it. Oh, good luck to us all. Alright guys, here we are at the showdown. Our Phoenix is just so far away. We have so many hunt events to cross before we can get anywhere near him. Let's see what we can do though. We're going to begin with a random event. 48. Whoa. Death wager. The survivors are awoken by a traveler hidden in a deep cloak. The traveler pulls back his hood and reveals a deformed face with 2 chins curved away from each other, each with its own grinning mouth. In a dreamlike state, the survivors all understand this entity is known as the Gambler, and if they speak, they will die. Until this event is completed, only the event revealer may speak. If any other player speaks, the survivor turns cold, dead. The survivors must play the gambler's game or be trapped with him forever. Each survivor rolls 1d10. Hectic. Well, I'm going to be... Don't you guys speak, otherwise we'll lose the survivors. Let's get rolling, I guess. We'll start with null. 7. Leave that there for the time being. Dis. A 2. Okay. Valentine. A 3. Oh, it was a 3. And that was a 2. Finally, Lex. Okay, so rolling between 2s and 9s, you do not lose, nor do you win. Play again if you wish, and if you do, roll again on this table. Guys, we roll a 1, we die. We roll a 10, we gain luck. Oh, I really don't want to press any luck here at all, guys. So we've played, and now we're going to move right on as quick as we can. Sorry if you're expecting some crazy push your luck stuff there. Alright, our first Phoenix Hunt event, Unmake. A static fills the air, reality quivers and bends around the survivors. Objects spontaneously deteriorate while others appear to sharpen in their field of vision. Each survivor must nominate one gear in their gear grid and roll 1d10. If we roll a 1 to a 5, we unmake the item. The gear twists and falls apart. Gain the resources used to craft this good and archive the gear. Remake. If the gear is a weapon, gain +2 strength tokens. If the gear is armor, the hit location it's worn on gains +2 to the armor, or just 2 armor. Gains 2, yeah. If the gear has the other keyword, it is destroyed and we archive. Just I don't like this at all. Okay, we'll begin with null, and I nominate the Monster Tooth necklace because I don't want to lose any of our weapons or armors. Should I choose an armor? Alright, let's choose the leather mask, shall we? Leather mask. We roll for him. 6. So we are good there. That is remade, and it gains +2 armor for the head location. Alright, for Dis, round leather shield, I think. I like this. So lucky. Okay, +2, yeah, +2 strength for Dis there. Good job, mate. Alright, Valentine. We two are going to pick the round leather shield. Oh boy. So the shield is gone and we gain whatever it was that we used to craft it. I'll make sure we note that later, but more importantly, we lose 2 points of armor at every location because of that. I guess still having 9 points of armor at the head and 8 everywhere else isn't the biggest loss. This is the one that I'm wondering about though. Lex. There's no way I'm picking the Slayer for the weaponry. I could pick the Beacon Shield. We'd lose a couple of points of armor. 3 points at every location. Maybe we should just use the Frenzy Drink, but that will spoil my entire plan. Beacon Shield it is. We probably won't even need it. Ready? Ready. Damn it. And with that, we lose 3 points of armor at every location. We will forge it when we get back, make another one, but bloody hell. That was brutal. Alright, so our survivors move on through, and we have now a random event to roll. So let's get those dice going. See what we need. See what we get. 9090. Light on the horizon. The survivors hear a screeching howl, followed by a crash. They see an explosion of multicolored light on the horizon. The unnatural light illuminates the survivors' way. If at least one survivor is sane, they follow the light, and you may re-roll the next result on the hunt event table. If all survivors are insane, they turn away from the light, walking into the darkness. Move the survivors 2 spaces back on the hunt board. Regardless of what the survivors do, the light reaches the settlement, and we add the lights in the Sky Settlement event to the timeline next year. Well, unfortunately for us, all of our survivors are insane, so we start again. Oh, we're going to be haunted by this random event card right here. Let's roll for our first one. 34. Crippling Misery. Each survivor rolls 1d10. The lowest scoring survivor or survivors in case of ties becomes a straggler. If any survivor has the anxiety disorder, they are the straggler and do not roll. None of us do, so that's good. The straggler is lost in the moment of profound self-doubt. They slip, not having the will to catch themselves, and tumble off a steep hill of stone faces. They land awkwardly with a crunch, suffering the broken leg severe injury. Alright, let's, I guess, roll for everyone. I like the sound of this. From the top to the bottom. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, guys and gals, it's going to be Valentine here. It looks like she's the only survivor that doesn't have a ton of hunt XP, that also doesn't have the prepared courage event, bold event thing. So that's going to be 1 permanent -1 to speed for her. Not the worst thing. She's going from 6 movement to 5, so okay. But yeah, that's a bummer. Oh. Got a surprise for when we start too. I just read something about Valentine's abilities in the showdown. We'll get there soon, guys. Sorry. Okay, so that is the first of our random hunt events. We move on to the next one before we can actually move past where we were before. Let's roll. And it is number 7. Please be lucky. Alright, Hungry Ground, not a lucky one. The ground suddenly splits and a gaping stone mouth attempts to devour the event revealer whole. The event revealer rolls 1d10. We'll stick to our rulings that the event revealer is going to be the one with the death dice, and we'll move around from there. So, Lex, you are our event revealer. Let's roll 1d10 and hope for the best here. 7 is good. We manage to leap away in time. Whew. All right, that is our 2 random hunt events. Let's move on to the next space, shall we? What do we get? 98. Oh. All right. The survivors find a trail of blood. It pools in the eye sockets of the stone-faced ground. The blood is still warm. The event revealer may investigate and roll 1d10 or ignore the trail and end the event. Well, the event revealer rolls around to Null, who's next in line. And he has the Explore Insight ability, which adds +2 to his investigate rolls. This could mean good stuff for us here. So I'm thinking we investigate. Hoping for big numbers. We get a 6 plus the 2. We get an 8. And this is phenomenal. The trail leads to your quarry. The monster is wounded from a previous battle. Start the showdown immediately. At the start of the showdown, the monster suffers 1 wound. Guys and gals, we don't have to hunt the whole track. We've done it. We've done it before even Overwhelming Darkness. Look. The trail leads off to the side. And we have our Phoenix, who is going to suffer 1 wound at the start of the battle. Guys and gals, this is so good. It was worth all that backtracking for sure. Let's get stuck in. Alright guys, here we are face to face with the Phoenix, and a very nice looking setup we've got going on here. Let's quickly talk about the bird. We've faced him before, so you may be familiar with him already. He's got a few traits that really make him out to be one of the toughest monsters in the game. Firstly, he's got the Zeal trait. At the end of each monster turn, perform a basic action. It's just annoying. His basic action is actually quite powerful. Closest threat in range, yada yada. Base values, it's got a speed of 2, an accuracy of 2+, and it does 2 damage. And then it's got this crazy razor wind thing, which totally messes us up. Next, we've got the Spiral Age trait, which is a really powerful ability that, well, if a survivor has age tokens, when he uses Spiral Age, he removes the age tokens from the survivor and they gain 400 XP per age token removed, which in the case of some of our old survivors, if it pushes them past the final point on the Hunt XP track, they cease to exist, they die, they become nothing, and we lose them forever. Oh. Now he's also got the Materialize trait, and this is why I wasn't too worried about losing the -1 movement arrow thing. Remove the monster from the showdown board and place it adjacent to the target. It must be placed so its base covers as many other survivors as possible and they suffer collision as normal. So it really ignores the movement of the monster. Now he's got the Indomitable trait, which makes him pretty much impervious to any knockdowns. He just gets straight on back up. And then last but not least, he's got the top of the food chain card. The monster suddenly seems older and we get a -3 to severe injury rolls resulting from monster attacks. It is brutal. So if we are going to roll a severe injury, we may as well be prepared to say farewell to that survivor. Now, not finishing it off there, he's got +2 to his speed, +3 to his damage, and +2 to luck, which means his luck essentially offsets any luck our survivors might have, making it very difficult to critically wound him, right? Now, I've set our survivors up in an extremely illegal placement, usually, but thanks to the terrain cards that we have drawn, the dead monster here comes out, we are actually able to place our survivors anywhere we would like to. So, really jagged it here. I'm almost going all in that the plan will work. We've also got a toppled pillar floating around and a couple of Arcanthus plants where that's not an Arcanthus plant. That was supposed to be an Arcanthus plant. Let me grab one of those. There we go. They're all thanks to our screaming braces. And is that it? Oh yeah, we've got the Nightmare tree underneath the Phoenix here, which we can actually harvest that thing if we so desire. But as always, we're going to concentrate on taking down the monster. So let's get stuck in, beginning with the Phoenix's first activation. We draw the AI card and we get the right wing strike. Pick target, last threat to wound in range. No target, disdain, because no one's actually wounded him yet. So we pretty much ignore the vast majority of that card. We check out his disdain ability, which isn't going to change anything as far as I know. We place the Phoenix at the center of the Nightmare tree. Done. It emits a hissing moan and all non-deaf survivors suffer brain damage equal to the monster's level and perform Spiral Age. We then end the Phoenix's turn. Now we've currently only got one survivor that can ignore that crazy hissing moan. So it looks like everyone except for Valentine drops 3 points of insanity. A very nice card for us because that ends the Phoenix's turn without resolving the Zeal trait. Solid stuff. See, I was going to surge and attack and do all this cool stuff, but we don't have to worry about anything. We can concentrate on doing our damage. So, alright, so we're going to begin with Dis, who is in range of our Phoenix with his bow. So we're going to start off by unloading our clawhead arrow, hopefully, into the belly of the monster here. Now the clawhead arrow hits on a 6+, but we've got a couple of points of accuracy here. We have 1 natural accuracy, and then we've got the accuracy from our 0 presence of fighting art, which means we're actually going to be landing this on a 4. Very important that we do. Hopefully we get to see why. Roll, and it's a good solid hit with the 9 there. Now if we weren't blind, that would turn into a perfect hit and we could roll another dice thanks to Combo Master, but 1 is plenty for us. we're going to go ahead and drop in one of those -1 evasion tokens next to the Phoenix's already overwhelming positive tokens. Next, we're going to roll to see if we can actually do some damage here. I almost forgot, of course. The Phoenix begins this encounter slightly wounded, so I'm going to just quickly discard one of his wounds there. Alright, so what are we going to need? Now, the Phoenix has a toughness of 17 points, and the Clawhead arrow on its own has only got 6. But thanks to some tokens and the natural strength of Null, brings us up to 13, guys and gals. We just need that 4. Let's roll. Hope for big numbers. Oh, it does not wound at all. That 1 is not what we want, but it's okay. We got most of what we wanted, being that -1 evasion token. Now, we could attack again, because that attack only uses our activation because we're firing the arrow. We could go ahead and surge and use our movement activation to fire the arc bow itself. But let's not worry about that just yet. Null will spend his movement just to get a couple of points away from the Phoenix, just in case he decides to fly on over. And we're going to move straight into Lex's turn. As you can see back there, she's in the blind spot. In fact, I'm not totally happy with that, so I'm going to move her right into the center blind spot back there. Mainly because I know there's a couple of hit locations out there that punish anyone not standing in that location. Now we're going to do a couple of things right now. Firstly, we are going to surge, spending 1 point of her survival. This will give us 1 activation to spend immediately, and we're going to spend that on the Frenzy drink, and we suffer the Frenzy brain trauma. Firstly, we're going to roll the dice, and we're going to gain 1d5 points of insanity. Just 1 point. We gain +1 speed and +1 strength, and we immediately unlock the full potential of the Perfect Slayer. We're going to be rolling 4 dice with this thing straight away, and let's chuck in that death dice for good measure. 5 dice, we're actually going to be hitting on 3+. Let's do this. Bang! Only 1 miss in there and a couple of perfect hits, 2. Now, Combo Master, I would love it to go off right now, but one of the drawbacks of being frenzied is we can't actually use the fighting arts. That's okay. 4 hits, and with 14 strength on the weapon, and a grand total of 21, we're going to be rolling these 4 dice. Hopefully, I better actually draw some hit locations first. Feathered Body, good one. +2 toughness, doesn't matter. The Glorious Eye, wound reflex, it has rewind, not to worry about that one. The Glorious Hands, we strike the monster's powerful digits, and our last location, yes, striking the monster's thick neck. 4 beautiful locations here, and very little negativity going on. So we're going to roll all the way through like this. It's going to be 2+ for each one. Starting with the feathered neck, massive 8. We discard that hit location and 3 AI cards. We move to the Glorious Hands, no ill effects there, 2+. Oh, no, we miss it. What a shame that is. Did you see that topple? Oh, action replay? Maybe. Next, we've got the Feathered Body here, +2 toughness to wound this location. That brings him up to 19, but like I said, we have so much strength, it doesn't even matter. Another 8 and another 3 wounds. Our last location here does have a wound reflex. That's better. We get 1 in here with the 9. Let's have a look where. We have the Glorious Wing Sphincter, and that is why we have survivors in that the center back piece there. This thing is crazy. It's a wound reflex, so we do actually have to wound before we go anywhere. Now this one here, attacking with the Oxidized Lantern Glaive, we have sharp, so we're going to roll 1d10. Ooh, sorry. We're going to roll 1d10 for added strength. Only 2. Still, it's respectable. A total of 14 strength with our strength tokens. Just gonna need the 3+ here to wound. And to be honest, I don't mind if we don't make the wound here. But we do. Oh. Alright. We'll discard 1 AI card. And then we resolve the wound reflex. The Phoenix blows everything away. Survivors in the Eye of the Storm gain +1 insanity. All other survivors suffer knockback 7 and bash. Crazy. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Knocked down. Valentine here, she can't go anywhere, so she'll just suffer the bash. And then Null, yes, you're off. 1, 2, 3, straight up against the board edge there. Now, good news, Dis can actually encourage himself up. So we might go ahead and do that. That will cost us 1 point of survival and grant us one of these +1 strength tokens. Now this is actually caused a slight problem for us here. I'm not going to be able to get Valentine to spend her bird bread yet. Oh. And that means it's very likely that Lex is going to be the target of the next attack. Well, Dis has still got his movement, so we might send him back up so he's at least in a little bit of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right over there. Cool. Well, that's about all that we can do at the moment. Unfortunately, Dis can't encourage again, and, well, Lex is frenzied. Yeah. Okay. So we move into the Phoenix's activation. Let's get in there. All right, let's go ahead and draw the Phoenix's first attack here. It's going to be Peck. The target's going to be the last threat to wound in range, and lucky us, Dis is over there ready to receive. All right. So the target first off gains an age token. It's the beginning of the end for him. Let's pop that one down here. Next up, he's going to receive an attack. Now it's going to be 4 speed and it's going to hit on a 2+. Does he have any evasion? 2 points, yes. So that's going to be 4 dice and 4+. But I'll tell you what, we have a small break in the flow here. So, all right. Dis is going to surge to gain an activation to spend. And we're going to spend that on the round leather shield. We've not done this very much at all. We spend our activation to ignore 1 hit the next time you are attacked. We know he's going to be attacked, so this is probably a pretty good time to do so. It might give us a chance here. All right, because this is a full-on attack. 4 dice, 4+. Damn. All right, so we are going to lose 1 hit there, but we have 3 here, which is not what we want. Let's roll the dice and find out where these hits are going. 2 to the head and 1 to the chest. Oh, all right. We're going to spend a point of survival to dodge one of those. And we're going to spend our block to dodge another. And I think we'll have to get rid of that head hit there. But it does look like we are going to suffer the hit to the chest. Oh, I didn't even move the Phoenix. Hang on. So it'd be 1, 2, something like that. And Lex would be knocked over. Cool. Sorry. That looks better. Now this is what sucks about this particular attack. The Peck has a before damage effect. Destroy armor. Reduce armor at this hit location to 0 before applying damage. That means our 6 points of armor that we had protecting us are good and gone. Looks like we're rolling a severe injury because that is going to be 5 points of damage that we just can't handle. So we fill in the heavy box and become knocked down, and we roll on the severe injury table, remembering that top of the food chain card. It's going to be a -3 to whatever we roll here. A 6 turns into a 3. Gaping chest wound. Suffer -1 permanent strength. The injury is permanent and can be recorded multiple times, and we gain a bleeding token as well. We drop down to 3 natural strength. Oh no. And next we resolve the zeal trait. Closest threat in range, guys and gals. And guess what? We don't have any threats. Disdain. We place the phoenix at the center of the nightmare tree. It emits that hissing moan and all non-deaf survivors suffer brain damage equal to the monster level. Again, 3 points of insanity damage to everyone except for Valentine. And that means we're going to be rolling on the brain trauma table for Lex. Now the good news is we have the accept darkness trait, which gives us +2 to whatever we roll here. So let's see how we do. Oof. Up to a 4. We flee. You are knocked down and suffer knockback equal to your movement towards the closest board edge, and we gain 1d5 insanity. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right up against the board edge back there. We gain how many points of insanity? 3, that'll do. We're back to being insane. And, oh man, now we have to do the spiral edge thing, and there is only 1 survivor with an age token, and that is Dis. We remove all age tokens from all survivors, each gaining 400 XP for every token they have. If you gain more 100 XP than available, you cease to exist. Dis has only 2 spaces left to fill in. We needed 4, guys and gals. He is gone. Oh, that hurts. That hurts so much. Alright, 1 survivor down, 3 to go. Can we do this? The plan is failing. Okay, that's the end of the Phoenix's activation. So we're going to have all of our survivors stand up. Oh, you know what? If I had our survivors stand up at the beginning of the Phoenix's turn, we could have used the bird bread. Oh, there could have been many cool things to do. But we can't rewind that far. We keep going, guys. We move into the survivor's activation. Firstly, we're going to quickly run in with Null over here. 1, 2. He's got 7 movement. Whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go here. Or back 1. Yeah. Beautiful. So now he's in range for an attack with the arc bow, and I'm thinking we better take it here. Now, we are going to have to surge. No, we'll have to dash here to get the movement point back so we can fire the arc bow, and we will do so. This is going to need a 4+, but I'm thinking we'll do okay. No, we won't. Rubbish. Well, that's a bit useless, but that is all right. We'll move into Valentine's activation. Now for her, we can move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight next to the Phoenix into that random little blind spot there. Actually, no, you know what? Let's leave her there for the time being, and let's get attacking with Lex right now. Now she's up against the board edge all the way back up there. So we're going to run her in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're good. Straight into the blind spot back there. I don't think you can see, so I might just adjust the camera. Still can't quite see, but that's all right. There she is. Now she's going to be attacking, of course, with the perfect Slayer. 4 dice, 3+. Oh, so good. Okay, so we've got a legitimate perfect hit there, which fires off our combo master. We get to roll another one. Those are 5 hits there. Ooh, is that too many? Crap. First hit location is the tail feathers. It's impervious, no wounds there. The tiny wing hands, no, another impervious location. The hard beak. This one's super dense, and it has a reflex on it. The feathered breast, this has a wound reflex on it, and our 5th one, the feathered buttocks, another wound on there. Oh my goodness. All right, so Lex doesn't have any age tokens, so we don't have to worry about those 2. And this one relies on age tokens as well. So let's roll through like this. Now the Perfect Slayer has sharp, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll for the bonus strength. It's a 2, doesn't really matter. So let's go for the wound here. I think we just need 2 pluses, guys. Here we go. A 9. Definitely a wound there. In fact, 3 wounds. Good stuff. The next one, the Feathered Breast. A 6. 3 more wounds. Come on, come on, come on. Next one, the Hard Beak. Now, if the weapon was fragile, we'd be in trouble here. It's not. We're good. 6 done well. And that is all of our AI cards from the pile. We've just got 2 cards in the discard pile. We are going to do this. Unfortunately, we're not going to do it with this attack, are we? Let's just roll for the tiny wing hands. See if we can't get... Oh, it's a 4. No good. And the fail feathers. How's that? Tail feathers for a 5. Nah, no good. Oh. All right, now we'll activate with Valentine. We just need 2 wounds here. I'm not sure if we've got it, but we'll try it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy. We're actually going to move over there because that's going to work for us just in case stuff goes sideways. All right, Valentine, what are you going to do? Now, I'm thinking we're going to start by using that bird bread, and we're actually going to surge to get an activation to use for it. The reason is if we roll poorly for the bird bread, we lose all of our survival and wouldn't be able to attack. So we've used the bird bread, we gain +1 armor to every hit location, 10 points to the head, 9 points everywhere else. We roll the dice on a 1. Thank goodness, we would lose all of our survival, not going to happen, and we gain the priority target token, which means the Phoenix is coming after us. All right, next with our activation, we are going to make an attack with the Skullcap Hammer. This is going to be 2 dice and 4 plus. Just 1 hit there. Guys and gals, I just realized we have -2 movement, so we wouldn't be able to make it to the Phoenix. That's okay though. I'm still a bit of a fan of getting her out there, but we're not going to be able to land any attacks. Oh, all right. I think we've done as much as we can do. Of course, I've forgotten to use the death dice with Null there, but we will survive this. We move into the Phoenix as well. Let's just say most likely last activation. All right, so we shuffle that AI discard pile, and what do we get? The Peck attack. Oh, this is the worst. All right, so the last threat to wound in range, that would be Lex normally, but thankfully we have the priority target token floating around here, so the Phoenix is going to head on down like that. Now, we get a quick break in the flow, and I'm thinking we might actually use this to see if we can't land an attack here. Valentine is going to surge, and as she is now in possession of the death dice, we're going to be rolling 3 dice for our attack with the Skullcap Hammer. We are going to need 4 pluses though. All right, so we make 2 hits at least. Where are we going? We've got the Glorious Hand and Feet and the Glorious Primary Eyes. Oh no. So this is a first strike hit location. The attacker may cancel their full attack. This is a reflex. The monster stares into your future and kills all your children. The attacker suffers the destroyed genitals severe waist injury. Oh boy. Ah, let's do it. Sorry, Valentine. I want to finish this. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Glorious Primary Eyes. Now, firstly, we're going to roll for our sharp on the Skullcap Hammer, and we gain, oh my god, we should have just rolled to wound. Why didn't we do that? Okay, so we have 13 plus 5. We have a total of 18 strength, which means we need a 2+ to wound here. Oh. And we make the 2. Oh, how disappointing is that? But we do get the wound at the cost of Valentine's future. Oh. And we actually discard the final card from the AI deck there. So, 1 more wound and we've got this. So we move to the Glorious Handed Feet. Let's smack it. We roll for our additional strength. 8 points, massive. We're just going to need that 2+ because that brings us up to 16. Again, just 2+. We do it. Holy crap. And we discard the final wound. Now, last time we did this, I didn't really look into it heaps, but because there is an AI card in play, we can't discard it. So we discard the final wound. Now, I like to be quite sure about this stuff. So let's give Null a shot here, just to be completely sure. Can we wound with that arc bow? I'm certainly hoping we can. 1 dice, 4+. Yep. 15 strength we just need. 2+. And that is the final wound, no matter which way you look at it. Holy crap. The Phoenix was gearing up for his epic peck attack. Was going to cut straight through Valentine's armor. She knew it was going to be the end of her, so she launched a final furious attack with the aid of her final lantern and the death dice. She takes a few swings and the Phoenix is crushed. Wow. Now, of course, I would go so far as to say that Lex is the absolute star of the show. That perfect slayer is so damn phenomenal. But Valentine, not only did she end the fight, but she saved herself and potentially another survivor from the upcoming Zeal onslaught. Oh, absolutely fantastic. What a change that one ridiculous weapon makes to the flow of this game. So we move into the aftermath, and our survivors, well, they gain 1 or 2 points of hunt XP. For Null, he's just going to gain 1, while Valentine will gain 2, crossing her 2nd age milestone. Lex will also gain 2. Oh, no. Lex will gain just 1 because I'd like to see if we can get her up to the Grand Weapon Mastery. That is, of course, if we continue to play after Lantern Year 30. I have no idea. Each survivor gains 2 points of weapon proficiency here. And then finally, we gain the rewards. Now, if any survivors had age tokens, we would grant them +1 understanding. But unfortunately, well, we kind of snuck in with that final attack before the age token was bestowed onto Valentine. So there'll be no granted understanding there. We do get a nice ton of rewards though. 6 basic and 9 Phoenix resources. For the basic stuff, a monster bone, another monster bone, a skull, a monster organ, a love juice, and a broken lantern. As for our Phoenix specific stuff, we get 9 of these. Wow. 1 small feathers, 2 black skull, 3 small feathers, 4 pustules, 5 tail feathers, 6 Phoenix finger, 7 tail feather, 8 Phoenix eye, and 9 hollow wing bones. Now, thanks to the skull and Phoenix finger, we can dish out a total of 4 points of insanity, 3 points and 1 point to survivors of our choosing. Let's throw them all over to Lex, bringing her up to 7 now, much better. Finally, we gain the Phoenix crest and another black lichen. Finally, we get this extra little bit here. If the settlement has innovated face painting, we can roll 1d10 to paint our faces with the blood of the Phoenix. We want a 6+ here. Oh, and it's a 5. Rolling that 6+ can cure blindness. Unfortunately, no luck for us. Null, sorry buddy, but you're still blind. All right, that's it for now, guys and gals. Let's take it on back to the settlement. Whoa, we're heading into Lantern Year 30. Madness. Let's do this. And our survivors return on home, bringing with them 3 endeavors for our returning, actually living survivors, and 2 endeavors for our dead survivor Dis. It's such a shame. I was so hoping to bring you on out to that final one. You have that Axe Mastery. It was amazing. I should say had. Ah, he was so good. Next step for us though is to update that timeline, and like I said, Lantern Year 30, we are finally here. This is going to be so epic. Now to start us off, we have the Lights in the Sky settlement event thanks to our hunt phase there. A spectacular light show erupts against the limitless darkness above. Swirling, vivid trails streak overhead. They lift everyone's spirits. For lingering effects on this one, the settlement's collective imagination is set aflame. After rolling for any endeavour, you may add +1 or +2 to the result. Now, this event also comes with a couple of other places we can spend our endeavours. Over here, we can gain armour or survival. Here, we can bring in the Stranger in the Dark settlement event or gain the Quixotic Disorder if we roll particularly well. And then down here, the Inner Lantern one, we can potentially gain a fighting art of our choice, or the Skull Eater settlement event, which I'm not a fan of right now. Now, before we go too far, we actually have to draw an additional settlement event. Elder Council. Now, we've seen this one a few times. It's cool, actually. This kind of works because it's like a convening of our elders, our remaining elders, just before their final nemesis encounter. This is very good. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add up the total age or the total hunt XP of all of our remaining survivors. We're going to check out this chart here. We will be rolling bonuses to this, and considering we have records, we're going to be rolling a bonus D10. So let me count up and I'll be right back. So we've only got 75 if I've counted that right, which means whatever we roll on our bonus D10, we are going to get this 51 to 99 mark here. -1 endeavor, -2 resources, an elder decides to hunt again. A retired survivor must join the next hunting party. That's exciting. All right, I'll suss that out shortly, and I'll also figure out which resources we're going to chuck away here, but that is so cool. Okay, so we've updated the death count. Let's update that death count. So many deaths. And we move into the development stage. So here we make our final set of decisions, guys and gals. I'm going to take a minute to figure out what the plan is going to be coming out here. I'll be right back. See you soon. All right, let's start off by getting all of our shopping out of the way. We're going to cash in 2 fresh Arcanthus for 2 dried Arcanthus. I'm not sure if we're going to have a spot for this or any of the stuff that we're purchasing here in the gear grids coming up, but I just want to be prepared. More of a just in case kind of thing. We are going to rebuild our round leather shield and beacon shield with the goods. They crumbled away during the hunt event, leaving us with just the pieces. They were unmade, I believe was the term. But now they're back, so that is good. We're going to go ahead and purchase a feather shield from the plumery. We have 2 sets of small feathers and the mucculent droppings here. And this guy looks a little something like this. It gives us block 1, which is pretty much standard for any of the shield sides of things, but it also gives us this ability. If we can score red, green, and blue affinities somewhere on the board, we may reduce any suffered brain damage by 1 to a minimum of 1. Not sure if it's very useful at all, but hey, we had the spare resources, so why not? I might leave this one out in the open just for the moment. We have 3 organs here, which we're never going to get a chance to use, so I'm going to spend them on either a blue or a green charm. Honestly, I don't know whether either of these are going to be worthwhile for us. We would need to rack up 5 affinities in either color to be able to reap the benefits, but they are fairly powerful. If we can get all of the green ones, we gain undeathable. If you would die, roll 1d10, and on a 6+, you inexplicably survive. Very cool. And here with the blue charm, we would gain unshakable. When you draw a trap, roll 1d10, and on a 6+, discard the trap and reshuffle the deck. Would combo very nicely with our spear specializations. Not sure though, so I'll leave that open until I've had a bit of a look at our gear grids for the next ep. Now, the reason we're not spending all of our precious resources on pulse discoveries, well, We can only do pulse discoveries once per lantern year, and the next level for us is the legs locked ability. When you gain the death die, you stand, and while you have the death die, you cannot be knocked down for any reason. That is, yeah, quite powerful actually. Maybe we should get that. See, that would cancel any knockdown effects and the like. Well, the reason I'm thinking no is because we have this massive fist full of resources here that we could spend to get the rainbow katana and blood sheath. Is this even a good idea? I don't know. Let's have a look at the rainbow katana because I'm slightly obsessed with this thing. 4 speed for starters, amazing. Hits on a 4+ and has 4 strength plus, well, on its own, it's not that great. It has frail, but we have the opportunity to grab deadly. That's cool. But if we combine it with the blood sheath and we set them up like this on our gear grid, well, the katana loses frail and in its place gains sharp, which means it's 4 strength plus 1d10. So yeah, it's an interesting combo for sure. But is it for us? See, if we don't get this, we can grab that legs locked ability. Oh, truly, this is a tough one. I'm really going to have to wait to have a look, aren't I? All right, let me keep you posted on this one and this one here because, well, it really depends on our loadout, doesn't it? And I can't make those decisions right now. I just don't have the mind about me. Either way though, I found our 2 resources that we're going to cash in to allow us to send off one of our retired survivors. So that's good. Let's have a look at what we're going to spend with our 4 remaining endeavors. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do this. Oh. I believe I've picked the survivors that I would like to take out on the next encounter. So let's begin by sending our Red Savior Fury to face painting. We're going to do some battle paint. We'll roll the dice here, and I need to roll a 4+. Great. Death Ceremony, gain +3 insanity. She's currently only got 3 points, which is far too little for such an endgame encounter. So we'll bump that up to 6. And I don't know, the plan is to get everyone's insanity up as much as possible right now. We'll head to the shrine next. Fury can go again. We're gonna I'm kind of hoping for a 1, 2, or a 3 here. A 3, yeah. All right. So departing survivors will each gain +1 insanity. And the last spot that we're going to go to, and this is going to cost us 2 of our endeavors here, is to storytelling. Now, we have the opportunity to bring on the White Speaker story event, which is a story event we haven't seen yet, and it can be a pretty risky one here. So I'm kind of hoping we just gain the all departing survivors gain +3 insanity event, but if we get the White Speaker, well, we'll cross that bridge in a sec. We roll a 2. I'm going to opt to add 2 to the result there for lights in the sky. We're going to bring it up to +3 insanity for all departing survivors. So that ends up being +4 and all endeavors spent, which probably means it's going to be no more lantern research, guys. So we're going to be walking away with the rainbow katana and blood sheath, cashing in everything we see here. I'm actually getting rid of 2 black lichens to get the bone, I believe. But yeah, plenty there, a lot to say farewell to, but hopefully this is going to be a good weapon for us. All right, that's it for development here, guys and gals. We now prepare our departing survivors to take on just the most incredible foe in Kingdom Death 1.5 history, the Gold Smoke Knight. Far out. For now though, let's get some rest and prepare mentally for this incredible end of adventure.
I'll see you all next ep, guys. Alright guys, there we have it, the final hunt for this campaign, and what a doozy it was. The level 3 Phoenix, what a freaking beast. Now, it's not without its mishaps. Of course, there was an extra dice rolled in that perfect Slayer attack, but then again, I let Dis die just out of nowhere. I'm not even sure I had to spend a survival action to get rid of his age tokens for the spiral age thing. Maybe I could have surged my way and gotten out of it. I'm gonna try and not think about it too hard because either way, it was a good solid fight with some good solid story behind it. So yeah, into Lantern Year 30, and I'm pretty sure we've got our work cut out for us this final year. I had a quick peek at that gold smoke night, and I'm considering just giving up right now, guys. That's it. Kingdom Death 1.5 playthrough over. We got no chance. Let's just go straight to the game over page, alright? We are going to give it a shot. But man, I don't like our odds. It'll be fun though, it'll be fun. We can all do this together, and anyway. But yeah, thank you all for watching up until this point. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you guys can do to help this channel grow. But a special shout out actually to everyone who's just kind of jumping in on the campaign now and heading back to episode 1, the prologue stuff, watching all the way through, leaving comments on those older videos. I'm still loving these comments, and I'm learning so much even from these new strategy tips and stuff coming through. You guys are amazing. Keep it up. That'll about do it, guys and girls. As always, my name's Michael. This is Bits Aboard, and we'll catch you next time for our final Kingdom Death 1.5 showdown.